Hey guys, what's up? Alright, it's Double Deuce back. Now tonight, we're going to look at the new V8 G52 engine again with a new perspective. Does this thing remind you of something? I mean, I've seen this engine around, and it's very similar to the Nissan Motorsports VK56 or the Nisbo VK56. So once I seen that, I started doing like a bunch of research. Had to put the grandpa glasses on here, you know what I mean, and totally look into what's going on here, you know what I mean. Like, I'm staring at this engine. I've ripped it apart. I've spent more time with this engine than I probably spent with old girlfriends, you know what I mean. But this is my love. This is what I do. So anyways, let's get into what's going on with how I have it set up. I put it on a mirror today, a mirrored piece of plexiglass, right? Because I wanted to show everybody that there is none oil splatter out of this engine, none. So if you put it in your RC car, your quarter scale, your rig, whatever, you're gonna have a nice clean format there. You're not gonna have to like wipe it down like all the nitro engines. Like, those things bleed like crazy. But so I did a lot of research on this thing. I've got just under 9 hours of runtime, 8 hours and 40 minutes of actual runtime on this engine, and it's like I have no complaints, you know. What engine can you do that with? So I did a lot of adjustments on the engine, and being that I seen that this was the Nismo, you know, VK56 engine, those rev like no tomorrow. And I looked at it and I was like, you know what? It's almost all there, except for they got a chain drive up front. They got a fuel injection system on top. This has a couple of carbs, so it's gonna bring the revs down a little bit with the carburetors, you know. And so I played with the Hall sensor today, and I realized that if you move it inward, because on the distributor itself back here, there is a ring with 8 magnets, okay? If you put it on just the inside of the ring, it advances the timing. If you pull it on center, it's top dead center. If you bring it out further, it retards the timing. So, you know, because you know where I'm going here, right? Supercharge. When you supercharge something, you have to retard the timing really bad, you know? So, anyways, I readjusted the roller rockers on this thing to 1.5 to 2 thousandths, because that's what, you know, the Aussie V8, the Conley V8, their roller rockers are 1.5 to 2 thousandths. And I was really surprised. I picked up a lot of RPM out of this thing. And sometimes just a simple pay attention, you know, do your thing, do your math, and, you know, like I say, this thing has major potential with a couple of minor tweaks that you can do yourself and that I can try to help you do them, you know. This engine was given to me to test, do a lot of research, R&D, because that's what I used to do in my life, you know. Unfortunately, we had a year to do it. I only have 1 month, you know. So I took 1 month, and right now I'm on week 3, and I've probably spent more time with this thing than I probably should have. But I've learned a lot about this thing, and I realized something, that this is going to be, this is the one right here. If you have a quarter scale car, you want to, you know, put it up as a display, you know, impress your buddies, this will be the one. If you want to make a blender, remember the 2-stroke blenders? Yeah, this is the engine. If you want to be the man, you're going to put this on your blender, I'm telling you, because I'm going to make one, you know. So anyways, I've gone through a lot of things in this engine before, and I'll touch base again with the oiling system. It has a wet sump oiling system. It comes up these tubes here right into the valve covers, and it pulls it down, and just like this engine does not have an oiling problem whatsoever. It's great. the compression on this engine is really high. It's really high. They gave me a speed controller for 48 volts to start this thing. However, I turned it down to 14.4 because I wanted to see what the minimum and the maximum was. And it starts off 14.8 volts with a 80 amp speed controller. And now it has an oil filter here, which like they really need to gear up right now and start, getting filters for these things, because this has been seriously probably the most reliable engine I have tested in a long time. And it revs, it pulls down, it does not stall, it does not ever stall. This thing is just it's amazing. I'll put it that way. Like I say, you're going to see a lot more of these on my channel. I have one on pre-order right now. This is a test engine. It has to go back so they can tear it down and look to see and measure the wear, because they know all that stuff, just like I used to do back in my day. Except I don't have to do it. You know what I mean? It's like they have to do it now. You know what I mean? It's like, it passes it down to the younger crowd. So, anyways, this thing is it is something that you should watch. Now, these are going on sale next month sometime, September, at sterlingkit.com. Go there, check it out, email them, contact them, and ask them if you want one, okay? This engine is not for everybody. It's not, okay? If you don't have the seat of the pants skill to, tune up your own car or, maintain your lawnmower, this is not the engine for you. If you know what RC is all about, it's all about guys who were, we grew up from dirt. We are a brotherhood of people that come up together, and when something like this comes into your life, embrace it. That's all I can say, dude. Because like this thing here, I've been in the RC hobby for years and years and years, right? I think, 1981? That was my first RC hobby. And you know what? And I've watched it evolve all through the years. When something like this comes into your life, buy one. You know what? Buy one. Because you know what? Because you'll never regret it. I mean, you'll regret it if you don't. But so I have to give them a report on this thing. So it's going to be we need some kind of a gearbox and a clutch back here. You know what I mean? To connect it to something cool. Whether it's a blender, pencil sharpener. Conley did that one. You got a V10 pencil sharpener for like 13 grand. I foresee this thing being something that everybody can afford for their hobby. So that's all I'm going to say, guys. Like you say, I'll add this. I filled this thing up 3/4 of the way, this fuel tank, with just straight 95 octane, and it has a full oiling system down here. There's no premix if you don't want it. I ran a premix at first. I ran True Field to this thing because I didn't know what I was going to expect, and then I realized it ran a lot better with just regular gasoline. And so 20 minutes of run time, this thing is seriously only dropped down about 1/3 of the tank. So the fuel efficiency is pretty good here, and it runs off a simple CDI box and a hall sensor and gas. So there's no nitro. What's that now? $55 a gallon for a good gallon of nitro. So right now you can, run your lawnmower, your weed whacker, and then you can play with your shit. You know what I mean? So anyways, guys, love to all. Like, share, subscribe if you want. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Like I say, I haven't put up a video in over a week now, and because I've been kind of married to this, because I need to bring something good to you guys, all right? And it's not all about me. Believe you me, I could do other things in my life. You know, I got tons of cars out there sitting there waiting to be like thrashed on and hammered on and having a good time with. But this here is wicked cool. So take care, guys. Adios.